And we're live. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Dustaholics podcast. I am your host, Aaron. Joining me today, we have Andrew and a brand new member. Introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Joshua Toback. Do you want me to what do you want me to say after that? Just
that's basically enough.
Yeah. Hello, everybody.
Okay. Wait. Why is? Okay. So, about half of the things that I'm watching say that we're online, and then half of them don't. So I'm really confused as to whether or not we're actually live.
We're live.
We're live?
We're live.
I see it live.
You can tell the. Well, yes, but my stream now thing says that we're not live. Whatever.
Leap of faith. It says live on mine.
I'm just going to post the stream on Twitter, and then we'll be set.
Yeah, if we're redoing it, I want to redo my intro.
Boom. No, we're just going.
All right,
we're just
doing it live.
Wow, way to
fuck it. We'll do it live.
Stream, Aaron.
Yeah.
Stream.
Listen.
With a link.
Shut up.
Told him.
Okay, so. Oh God. Is everything falling apart? I think everything's falling apart.
Oh God, it's all me. I joined it. Now it's all ruined.
Why is there an error? This is. Why is everything going wrong?
It's fine on my end.
It's fine. Are you? Jesus Christ! This is off to a great fucking start.
Yeah, I'll entertain the crowd and let them know a little bit more if they are here.
Fine, we're live.
Jesus
I can.
Christ.
I'm looking at our.
Are you?
So yeah, if you guys can hear me, basically, if I'm not just some random guy, I do know a lot about RWBY and Rooster Teeth in general. So I feel like I'm gonna add a little bit to this conversation about why. Can I introduce the topic, or do you want to do that?
I'll do that in a second. Okay, so we are maybe live.
We are live.
Yeah.
I just checked it. Aaron, just
listen. Okay, my end is going nuts, so I'm freaking out here.
Live.
Okay, you just
says we're live in the corner.
Hold down. You simmer down.
I believe
you're the one who's freaking out.
Listen. Okay, how do I check any fan chat? Oh, okay. No, I see it. I see it. Okay. We're
okay.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Pardon Aaron's short mental breakdown.
Listen, okay, I'm having a really tough time.
It's very stressful. The people need to hear this.
I'm putting the checklist in one corner and then the live chat window in the second, and then just hoping that nothing goes wrong.
Yeah, I'll keep the checklist on too.
Okay, so we were gonna start today's podcast by talking about Steven and his fan animation project, but he's not here, so fuck him.
Yeah.
Instead, we're gonna jump straight into talking about Volume 4.
Yeah, the 4th volume.
Volume 4, subtitled "Oh God, Why?"
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
It sucks. It sucks a lot.
By the gods.
It sucks a lot.
Listen. Yeah. Okay. All right. Here's as defense, I get to go first. Because I got a lot of shit to defend. I will what's it called when you recall or whatever you.
I don't know what you're trying to say, so
I'm going back on my statement that I don't like the theme. The music is actually the more I listen to it, the more I like it. It's like that with every single fucking Jeff Williams intro. I think it's good. It's no volume 1, but it's good.
It's no volume 2 or 3 either.
It's good though.
It's bad.
It's good.
Listen.
I've seen Sword Art. Okay.
Somebody has an echo.
Sword Art. We can all agree is terrible.
Somebody has an echo. Hold on.
Who dat? It's not me.
I don't know.
Might be me. 1 second.
Okay. I will continue.
Get your shit together.
Okay. Volume 4's intro, honestly, is better than Sword Art Online's intros because Sword Art Online is a bunch of dumb nonsense in their intros. Volume 4 does establish themes. However, the song is not mixed properly. it like sounds lower, like it's just quiet. I don't know why. Like the sound mixing in general, and I'll get into that, is just awful this season. And it doesn't feel exciting. Like you're not pumped to watch the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I've been like spacing out a second, trying to deal with some stream issues. But yeah, basically, my thoughts on it are: I actually think the song is pretty solid when listened to like independent from the visuals.
Yeah.
For some reason, the visuals are bad in a way that make everything else about everything in that OP more terrible.
It's too much. Like, let me explain why Volume 3 is great. Well, with its OP. Because it's not. I mean, the OP is great.
Listen, the OP I will concede is pretty good. I still like Volume 2's OP overall more, but there are a lot of animation issues in like Volume 3's OP that just seem kind of like, you know, like
I don't know. I think Volume 4 has a few, like, there's one that sticks out for me, Volume 4's animation, that I'm just like, I hate it.
Tyrion's fucking teeth like annoy the hell out of me. It's like it's like I don't know, it's like no animation is there. It's like it's just a white space.
I just thought of something. Let me try something here.
But
try something experimental for the stream.
Okay. But yeah, Volume 3 hyped you up for the episode, but also was a little darker. So you were thinking, oh, this season's gonna be a bit different. Like something's gonna happen. Volume 4 is just like, I don't know what the mood is of this song and this OP. Volume 3 hints at it very heavily that something big and terrible is going to happen. But Volume 4, I don't know. It's like, you don't feel that, right?
Okay, so where's his Tyrion teeth thing you're talking about?
I mean, like, his smile pisses me off. Like, we'll get into that later. I just don't like his character.
Oh, are you talking about the crazy guy? Hold on. I'm juggling a million things at once. I'm sorry. You're talking about the crazy guy, right?
Yeah, Tyrion.
Jesus Christ. Hello, stock vague crazy character. I'm sure you're going to be exactly like every stock vague crazy character in existence, because that's exactly that's what their writing screams to me.
Can you guys see the video by any chance?
No.
Oh, can you click the YouTube button?
I don't. That's more things for me to juggle. Let's just talk about it.
Let's just talk about it for a bit. So yeah, we'll talk about Tyrion later, but let's get back to part 4. The OP for it. I want, like, that was my first red flag that something is wrong with this season. Like,
my first red flag was the character trailer, like the full release of the character trailer.
Oh yeah.
No, it's like when the leak happened at RTX, I was actually skeptically excited for it because it looked actually really good. But that's only because the low quality of the video for the leak obscured a lot of visual information, and just sort of like, I don't know. It made it seem like there was more going on, but just like the low quality wasn't letting us see it. And then the actual character trailer came out, and it sucked ass.
Yeah,
and it looked way worse.
If you guys look at my screen real fast, I will show you the one thing that bothers me the most out of this intro.
Okay.
Everything?
Let's take a look really quick. Don't sue us, Rooster Teeth.
That
Jesus
little
Christ,
movement.
Go.
It's just so slow and very like stagnant.
Like, what is that? And the cut is terrible there. They have no transition.
You're lagging way too much for me to be able to like see. Like the video is lagging a little bit too much for me to know quite what part you're talking about.
We're talking about the scene with like Adam and Blake.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's
like
terrible.
Yeah, the cut is like not even there. It's awful.
Like, I don't know. It's we'll get into it because it like it kind of ties back into why I think a lot of the animation in this volume falls really flat. But let's move forward. Let's keep moving forward.
Yeah. Let's talk about the creative title, Rooster Teeth Animation.
Oh. Yeah, I mean,
wait, what?
You've got to hand it like I don't know. I just like as a side note, I just hate.
Stop it. How do I stop it? Okay, there we go.
Oh, there I am.
Oh my god. Okay, sorry about that.
I really hope we don't get flagged for copyright.
We
Because
won't.
Rooster Teeth is really bad for me with that. Like every video I've ever put out about RWBY gets flagged for copyright.
Yeah.
Because like
If
that-
we were
that's
saying how
totally
good it
great.
was, maybe it'd stay up.
Well, I mean,
Ooh,
even when I am saying how good it is, I don't know.
was.
It's a thing. Whatever. Anyways, I just
no.
like I didn't want to spend like a lot of time on it, but I just find that it's really fucking stupid that like they couldn't think of a better name than Rooster Teeth Animation.
Yeah.
Like seriously? That's the most creative title you could think of for your fucking animation studio.
Yeah, let's think of better
It's-
titles.
I don't know.
What
it's
would
just
you
like
name it?
it's a red flag. It's a red flag. I don't know. I don't like specifically work there, but like I don't know, maybe Rose Studio. Like
Yeah.
something, I don't know, like something, some inside thing.
Cockbite Studios. There you go.
Oh yeah, because
Yeah.
that'll really bring on the sponsors.
Yeah.
Guys, how do I stop screen sharing?
I don't know. You're the one who
Turn it off and
started.
on again.
Just fucking click the button again. Jesus Christ. This is why I didn't want to do
No,
this.
it's gone.
Oh my God. Let's get back on track.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't know. I didn't want to spend a lot of time on that. I just think it's really stupid that they called their
Mhm.
animation studio that. Let's move on to the aesthetic.
The lighting.
It
Ooh.
sucks. It's
Mhm.
bad. It's bad. To really understand like why I think the cell shading here sucks and cell shading, it can be really good when you're like actually putting in the effort to make sure that everything looks okay. Like I think the Naruto Ultimate Storm games look pretty good, and
Yeah.
Guilty Gear Xrd is fucking amazing.
And even Xenoverse 2 has great lighting in some sections, but I mean, it's not perfect, but you got them.
I've seen it. It's okay. But anyways,
better than RWBY.
part of like the whole thing of cell shading is to try to emulate the two-dimensional shading that you see in regular anime, which is like basically the entire point of why cell shading is usually associated with anime games. So, but you need to like really understand like the reason that cell shading exists in two-dimensional anime to really understand how to properly do it in three-dimensional anime. Back in the early days of color animation, you basically had to draw every frame of your animation, like, and that's like 12 to 24 frames every second. And you needed to paint every frame of that, and you needed to paint light into that.
Yeah.
So
God, I fixed
you
it.
needed to make sure you got your money's worth, and you needed to make sure that everything was okay. So you needed to choose every color and every angle at which the light stops or starts very, very carefully. And that's like basically the reason that anime looks so distinct, is that they really want to get their money's worth, so they have shading like that. But basically the point I'm getting at is that like light and shading in anime is deliberate.
Mhm.
It you need to choose every color and angle like efficiently and carefully. And now in this volume, they're just letting math do that.
Yep.
And it's
Well, here's-
bad in a way that like I really
Well,
I don't know.
Are you saying the color palette is the problem, or are you saying it's the how it's shaded is the problem? Because I could
both.
Okay, well, I think
I'm saying it's both. For me, there's not enough contrast in the colors mainly.
okay, I can agree.
For
I
it
can
to
see- I can-
generally look like what I think anime looks personally.
But here's the thing.
There are a few scenes that actually do.
Aaron.
There are a few scenes that actually do look good, but that's like it seems to be more as a coincidence rather than like deliberacy.
Like, if you want a good example of lighting, go look at the scene in episode 4. No, not episode 4. There's the scene in episode 4 with Yang and her dad. Like, there was some pretty good lighting in there because they were inside and all that. I mean, there's some good like examples of this scattered throughout. Like in later episodes, there's some really good ones, but I just don't. Lighting is to tell a story. It can make people look better. Like if you put lighting on like a specific object, it brings attention to it. So if you just leave it to math, you're not going to be able to do that, and that really is unfortunate.
Yeah. Part of why I really loved like Monty's flat shading was because it seemed more deliberate into like mainly my reason why I really don't like Volume 4's aesthetic. It can be really boiled down to everything feels really, really CG, which is a very weird complaint to have for a CG anime. But the visual information that they give you, like the math interpolates, it makes it seem not like it's like a physical thing, or even like it's a moving like painting. But more like it's a CG model that is being rendered in real time on somebody's computer.
Yeah.
And go on.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when Sword Art Online does something better than you, you know you're doing something wrong. Like Sword Art Online actually had decent lighting in some scenes.
Okay,
And-
can I
Yeah.
can I get
Let's let
something
the
here?
other side talk for a bit.
Please,
Get away
yeah,
from
because
that
I tried to
butt,
talk like so many times and I just
My
got
bad.
First off, let me say to viewers, if you
Wait a
wanna-
second. No, I'm kidding.
if you want to join the hangout and if you want to go on the group chat, ask us questions, feel free to. We'll be glad to talk about whatever you want to bring up.
Yeah, I'm monitoring
Yeah.
the chat, but we're mainly going to stick to the checklist if people don't like specifically ask questions.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But so I do have to agree that the color palette sometimes feels a little pasty. It
Yeah.
doesn't feel as sharp as I would like to be. I mean, that's been my complaint with RWBY since Volume 1, is that the color palette isn't as dark as I like it. It's a lot of very like, it's a low saturation. It's not as, I think it needs a little bit more saturation to it, but I think it looks okay. Like you said, there are some scenes where I'm just like, oh god, the shading looks so bad on some of it. I do agree, but there's some scenes that actually look really good. You know, it's basically, I think it boils down to this. With Monty's old method, it was consistent and it looked good. But with this, sometimes it looks really good, but sometimes
Really
it looks
bad.
really bad.
It looks okay, like about 10% of the time. 1% of the time, it looks actually pretty great. But the other, like, you know,
and it also comes down
90% of the time.
It also comes down to the lighting people, because you know, I was listening to a
Well, no, but it comes down to the
Aaron?
people who write the algorithm for the
Aaron?
shader, not
Aaron?
specifically the people. Fine, go on.
Yeah.
What?
Stop. Breathe. This is a podcast. We're just hanging
Go
out.
on.
No,
You're gonna say something. Fucking say something. Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Go.
All right. I'm just saying, it also depends on how they light it and how, you know, it comes off on, you know, on the model and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And what, you know, the color temperature of the light. It depends on a lot of things. And yeah, it does come down to the algorithm as well. It's a mixed bag, you know.
Yeah, it feels more artificial than the other scenes, you know, than the other seasons.
Part of why I liked the aesthetic of the first 3 volumes of RWBY, even though I don't like Volume 3's aesthetic nearly as much, is because it doesn't look like CG, even though I can tell that it's obviously CG. It looks like, not like it's being generated by a computer, but more like it's what would happen if you took a 2-dimensional painting of an anime character and wrapped it around a 3D model, because that's what it was doing.
Yeah.
And a lot of the visual information there was deliberately placed to have consistency with the characters and the world in which they interact with. But like now it feels, now that everything is computer generated and different things have different shading algorithms for different like areas and different, I don't know, it feels like light is playing by different rules than it should for environments and characters.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. It's going to take a very long time for us to get very good-looking CG anime style.
Oh, because we have that. It's called Guilty Gear Xrd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if they put in the time and effort to make sure that their shading systems were like that versatile, then we would be golden. But they didn't put in time for it because they wanted to save time, not like actually paint a more vibrant and beautiful picture.
Right. I can agree with you on that. Yeah. Like listen, I agree. This volume isn't as great as the other 3 volumes.
Oh, we got it, folks. We got it,
gentlemen.
But you know, for RWBY, it's not as good. But in general, it's good. It's okay. It's not.
Okay.
It looks like
It's
It
not
looks like a
terrible.
Saturday morning cartoon, and I hate that.
Yeah.
And it also releases on Saturday morning, coincidentally.
Yeah. It's playing the part. It's playing the part.
I mean, it's
Yeah, but listen.
yeah.
Can we all agree that before we get any more heat discussion, all of us here we love RWBY. We may
I
not
love
like
RWBY so goddamn much.
Yeah.
You have no idea. The
I
reason
know.
that I complain about this is because
Because
I
we
love
love it.
RWBY.
Because we love
I
it.
complain it because I want it to be good.
I know, and that's what I'm trying to emphasize to the viewers as well, because I feel like sometimes we might come across as like negative, but we really do care about this project. We really care, and we want to see it succeed. But to be critical is not a bad thing. I built armor and I got roasted on that in fucking my college sculpture class, and I was, but it's art. That's what happens.
Yeah. That's what you like.
And we may not like, we may be harsh on the season, but in the end, it's not SAO in story wise. It's
I was about to bring that
You
up.
You say that.
I'm still waiting for the fan service to play a part now that they got actual anime VAs in. I'm still waiting on the that segment because the minute it does that, it becomes worse than SAO.
The Crow shirtless scene, that'll be inevitable.
Oh yeah. I was talking more about
I didn't have that on the list, but before we actually start going into the nitty gritty of each individual episode, let's talk about the acting, because they pulled in a lot of really great talent for this.
Yeah,
they're dipping into the Funimation shortlist. I'm assuming because because a couple of the voice actors at Rooster Teeth became buddy with Funimation. That Funimation is sort of lending them contracts and stuff.
Michael and all that.
Yeah,
you're doing great. I think the acting is pretty good.
I think the acting is generally okay, but I think that good voice actors don't necessarily mean good acting overall.
Yeah, no.
And a lot of it is a lot of the lackluster acting that we're getting from the really great actors is because they don't really have a good script to work with.
I can see sometimes, but I have to say, I think I'm starting to develop a new favorite character. I think it's Crow.
Crow's great.
He's so fucking great. And Vic Mignogna is doing, I think, a great job with him. I don't know. There's something about that character. I'm just fucking loving it. I think he might be becoming my favorite part of RWBY. But it's good.
I mean, I guess I don't know. It's hard for me to say that any part of RWBY is a favorite part, because they're just turning everything that I loved about RWBY on its head and making it bad.
Ever since Aaron left Rooster Teeth, freaking Blake has gone down the shitter. We can talk about this a little later, but fuck, what happened to Blake? Her voice acting is terrible now. I mean, I get it. Really? She was emo, or not emo, moody in the early seasons, but there's no passion in her voice acting anymore.
They're also doing it remotely, so I don't know. Part of it might have been because of Monty's direction.
Yeah,
because he seemed like somebody that had a very clear vision in his head of what he wanted and what he wanted things to sound like.
Exactly. Yeah, I totally agree.
It might be because they the character, how the character is right now, the mindset of the character. It's not in an emotionally tense moment. She's just running away, so she doesn't have to. She's trying to avoid listen.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Thank
you.
Error.
She might not be in an emotionally intense part of her life right now, because that was when one of her friends got her arm chopped off trying to help her, and then she ran away. And I think that was. I think we skipped 6 months. We missed all the good emotion because of the time skip.
Well, listen. If you fucking never heard that there was a time skip, would you actually think that any time had fucking passed since
really.
No.
Yeah, because nothing has happened. They have stayed stagnant because they instituted a time skip because that's on their fucking anime checklist. We gotta have Vic Mignogna, we gotta have a time skip, we gotta have this, that, the other
Josh
thing.
Creel, get him in there.
They should have honestly maybe have hold it off. If they were gonna do a time skip, they should have just even
I wish they had done a time skip after this fucking arc.
Yeah. Because let me explain.
Like after, yeah.
Let me explain really quick. The first 3 seasons of RWBY take place over 6 months. Then they skip 6 months. Like, I don't think you guys realize how important that is. 6 months, you don't really, you do kind of know people, but
it also took like 6 months for Blake to actually get on a fucking boat, which I find fucking hilarious.
Give me a break. Well, and I don't know. It just pisses me off.
Well, here's the thing. We find when we go to Blake, she's already on the boat, and we don't know. She's close to the. Basically, she's on a boat that's like already at least 3/4 away across the world.
But she didn't notice Sun until that exact moment in episode 3.
Because he didn't reveal.
There's so many plot holes. There are so many plot holes. Anyways,
and the captain never tried to talk
about it without talking about it. Let's get a little bit more organized. Let's start off.
All right. Episode 1.
Okay.
Let's get right into it.
Episode 1. I want to talk really quick about interest curves, because that was something that basically defined Monty's animation that none of these animators seem to be familiar with. But I'm not entirely sure that it's their fault. I think it's that Carrie doesn't give a shit or know about interest curves or anything about Monty's animation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because
he's not an animator.
There was like a very specific general flow to all of Monty's scenes, and like even like though they are very different, you could pretty much like nail down like ups and downs in their like structure. And that's like basically a surefire way to get you hyped. It's one of the reasons that Monty's fights are like so effective at like conveying that energy. But now it feels like a lot of the fights are just happening because Miles and Carrie had an idea. They wrote something down. They storyboarded it in a hurry because they didn't have any inclination of like how things would be animated. They just had an idea that they thought was cool, and they wanted to like express that without really taking visuals into account, which is a bad thing to do in animation.
Are you talking about like a line of action?
I'm talking about all of the action animation, but specifically,
no. The line of action is how a character is like kind of silhouetted. So
no, that's something completely different. I'm talking about interest curves in fight structure.
Oh, okay.
There's like you can there's an episode of Extra Credits on it. I'll probably
send that to
put
me.
Out somewhere. I don't know. I don't want to find it right now. But anyways, so that's that. That's I just wanted to say that. What is everyone's general thoughts about episode 1?
It's okay.
Yeah, it honestly kind of worried me a little bit, and my worries were like met again. Because honestly, I remember a lot of stuff from Volume 1. Like I remember them meeting each other. I remember like that whole high school part. Like I remember, like I don't feel like I felt a lot during episode 1 of Volume 4. Like I'm just saying it wasn't a very good way to drag people in back into the series. Like I don't know. I just felt like them like exploring like the whole thing. Like how come it took them 6 months to get new armor? Like what were they doing up to that point? Why is John doing any fighting if he's a strategist or whatever?
There's so many plot holes, but I think it all comes down to the fact that like Monty in previous seasons seemed to sort of like rein in some of their bad ideas with his good ideas and like say, no, this is how we're doing it.
Yeah.
Because
let me just
he knew how to do stuff, but then it's like, go on.
I'm just gonna say that Monty is not perfect. I feel like we've been like saying Monty had these great ideas. Monty had this great vision. He was not perfect. There were some issues in Volume 1. Like Weiss was stuck up in Volume 1, and that was annoying.
There were definitely growing pains. There were definitely a lot of growing pains with his work because of how unrefined it is. But it all goes back to like his whole like philosophy of production is that like a bad product is better than no product. So it's better to like have some jank and learn from it than to just not put anything out ever.
Then after you say that, I have to pose this question. So what if they put this out and they learn from it?
If Volume 4 like truly properly addresses every problem that I have, I will eat my fucking hat. But I don't think it will because there's no indication that it will because they're not learning from any mistakes that they made in Volume 3.
No, I'm
And
saying
so
if
there's
they have
nothing about it like indicates to me that they're going to learn from their mistakes here.
right, so let's just say
And they won't know what mistakes to correct because the fans won't let them have mistakes because everybody is way too fucking like quick to let them off the hook and not actually criticize them about stuff.
I get you.
Because they don't want to like feel conflicted about a creator that they like.
True. Because we almost know these guys on a personal level because of how much we see their content and of them. But I gotta say, what if they end up like seeing this and they're like, shit, we gotta change stuff up. And Volume 5
Yeah, because
is
they really fucking
good.
care about me. They totally fucking
No,
care
not
about
us,
me.
not us. I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you. I'm saying if they look
like fan reaction. Well, fan reaction is
No,
like
no,
saying
let me
how great it
yeah.
is, so they have no incentive to improve.
Let me
Yep.
speak. Let me speak.
Go on.
I'm saying,
Yeah.
what if they review it and then they kind of see the flaws of it and they build off it for Volume 5?
If they do, then fine, but nothing indicates to me that they will because this is not an isolated incident. They've been going downhill for fucking like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Basically, like, I don't know. I know that Monty's not perfect.
Yeah.
I think that he sort of filled a creative hole that is gone now, that sort of motivated people to always improve.
I get that.
It's a shame. It really is a shame. I mean, I don't know.
Well, we'll see.
I would rather have something like fail but illustrate to me that they were at least trying. But none of this feels like it feels way too phoned in.
Yep.
I don't know. Anyways, let's get back to talking about stuff because we're like, I don't even know how long because I don't have a call timer because I forgot to set it up.
I think we're 20 minutes in now. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
We started at 3:30, right?
I'm not entirely sure. We may have
Like
started before
3:25.
that. Anyways, let's just like get more into it.
All right.
Okay. But generally episode 1 for me just sort of like opened my eyes to how much I was going to hate the rest of it.
Yeah.
But it was okay.
All right.
But like a lot of the problems that I have with the aesthetic just became painfully apparent to me the minute that the episode started.
How about this? All right, let's try something here. Let's try something here for everybody.
Okay.
Nate, we name 2 things we like and 2 things we hate about each episode.
Okay.
All right.
And then we'll elaborate more on other stuff if possible about that episode.
Exactly. So we'll start.
I don't think I can really do that.
Struggle and try to find something like the acting or like
like
certain things, just like any little thing.
I'll go first because I have 2 things I like and dislike about episode 1.
Yeah.
Go on, man. Jeez.
Okay. I like Nora because Nora's probably one of my favorite characters. I love her
Nora's
integration into the. Cinder is the best female character, and I will fight you on that. But Nora was really cool. Like her action in episode 1 was great. I liked I liked a lot of the what do you call it? I liked how the team worked together to kind of combat the big monster. But there was that's not really a big one, but I did like RWBY get it, like her new powers being revealed, like her teleportation and shit. Like I don't know if those are new or not, but like her just having that 1-on-1 fight at the end of the episode was great. And 2 things I didn't like: why did John take so long to get that new uniform? And 2, if John is getting that new uniform, like this is my whole problem with this episode. Why is RWBY making fun of his outfit? If it's fun, it's kind of funny, but I didn't like that because, he's kind of getting new armor to cover that because of Pyrrha. It's kind of just seems, if you're going to throw in like a joke, like a joking moment, don't throw it in the middle of something that's kind of serious. You know what I mean? So that's kind of too good and bad. I didn't like there were some mood issues with this episode.
Yeah. I feel like they, so I'll name 2 things I like. I kind of liked,
You kind of like.
I'm sorry. This episode.
Oh, gee, Rick.
I liked how they incorporated
like
Pyrrha's armor into Jean's armor. I like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna. That's on the list.
That was nice.
When we're done sidetracking from like the list, I have a list here.
Yeah.
Do we have to like do? I think that this is gonna end up taking more time than we think.
Okay. Yeah, I was just experiment here.
Okay. Anyways,
Yeah.
I feel like the first episode really exemplifies like the complaint that I have with all of this, in that I don't think I see anything that couldn't have been done in Poser.
Yeah.
Like none of this seems like it couldn't have been done, like albeit maybe a little more difficult.
Very difficult.
Just like at slight. Well, you say that, but that's because that's what they say.
Listen.
What proof do you have of that? Like they say that because they have a vested financial interest in you believing that like Poser absolutely could not have worked here.
Why? What is their end game for using Maya instead of Poser?
Because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
What?
It's cheaper because they don't have to pay for 2 software keys for everyone.
True.
Because before they had to pay for Maya keys and they had to pay for Poser keys. And sometimes even Premiere keys for everybody. Now they only have to pay for half of it. But anyways, there's a lot of contributing factors to probably why they want to use Maya. But anyways, like I don't see anything that could not have been done in Poser. And even the cell shading, there is cell shading in Poser that you can do. There's a button for it.
Why?
Like the shaders that they wrote are like any more complicated than just a regular button for it. Anyways, I don't know. I feel like we're going to continuously get off topic if I don't stick to the list.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about, I think it's kind of a really apt metaphor for this volume, that they took the armor of their dead friend who was far more talented than them. They melted it down into something unrecognizable, and they put it on their own work.
Oh no!
They put it on their own work, and then said that they were honoring their friend's memory. I think that's just a little bit on the nose as an apt metaphor for this.
I don't think they meant it like that, but yeah, that.
Listen, if they didn't mean it like that, I'm pretty sure. I think that might have been a subconscious admission of guilt.
Damn, it's been 2 years already. I just damn, that's brutal.
I'm planning a thing.
I think that, I liked it because, you know, what else were they gonna do, huh? Like, I don't know.
But why the time
within
skip?
the context of the story, I'm talking about, not within the production.
Yeah.
We're talking about like
why the fuck would he need? Why the? I don't understand why he needs an armor upgrade. No, but like,
it was too
why just on the rims? Why just on the rims?
Yeah.
John's
gotta deck out his rims for his waifu.
Like an aesthetic upgrade rather than like a legitimate like tactical one.
Actually, the armor, he does have a lot more armor in this.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just like not noticing it or something, but it doesn't seem like he added a whole lot more.
No, God,
whatever. Okay.
Trust me, I had to research John's armor for my project, and there is a huge difference. Like, he's got so much more armor.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I still ask, why only on the rims?
Yeah. You gotta deck it out though.
So he has the
my guy,
gauntlets.
He's gotta get the Tims, dude. On the rim. I don't know. But yeah. I don't get it either. Like,
okay.
So in volume 4, he what's added is, oh my God, there's so much more armor. He has gauntlets, shoulders. His chest piece has been redone. He's got quads on his quads to cover his shoes and his shins. How the fuck? They must have thinned out his armor so much to get all this metal.
Yeah.
There's a shit ton. Hold on, I'll put that in the chat.
Okay, so last thing, we're still only on the first fucking episode, and this one has the least amount of notes of any of the other ones.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Like, one thing that I want to bring up, that to be fair, I haven't seen the most recent 2 episodes, so I don't know if they're addressing this, but it seems a lot more like this volume is just turning into the Jean Arc show. Because it's like, you'd think that in a show called RWBY, in which RWBY is the titular main character, and she's the one that's like getting everybody to go on this like huge continent-wide hunt with her, that she would be the focus. But we get like so little comparatively to the development that Jean is getting. And I feel like it might just be because Miles has a huge fucking ego.
I don't think so. I'll say.
Am I the only one that gets that impression that he
No.
just has a huge ego? Because, like, I don't know.
Do you get that, Josh?
I'm sorry. I'm just like trying to read up on some stuff to make sure all my facts are correct. Can you repeat? Give me a
I feel like that RWBY is turning into the Jean Arc show because Miles has a huge fucking ego.
Oh yeah, I totally agree with that. I feel like John is like, instead of being called Ranger, it just be called like Juniper.
Well, there's no P.
Not Juniper. What was it called? What was Norris?
It was Junior and Ranger were the two
Junior.
names that they were
Yeah,
fighting
she's
over.
called Junior because John is the leader. Obviously, he's the one who makes all the tactical decisions. Why does RWBY have to?
And he's the one that seems to be the focus. I mean, why don't they just rename the show to that?
Yeah, RWBY Junior. They just call it that, like RWBY for kids.
I mean, this show does seem far more juvenile this volume than it does in previous volumes.
Not incorrect. Like, I don't remember exactly, but like when they're making fun of John's like hoodie, which he's worn. How do they not know about his hoodie? He's worn. He's been with them for a year because the time skip. Like they left immediately after. Had been out for 6 months.
Oh, but it's so wacky that it's just like that's the joke,
it's not even
man.
that funny. It's like why does RWBY's face expand? Like, have they done that? Is that a visual gag?
Because they think that that's how anime looks, but that's not how anime looks or feels or anything.
That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
Yeah. I mean, it's like somebody who's never watched anime before was given like that storyboard and said like make it look like anime. It's like I don't know what that looks like, and then they made it look like that.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like I just feel like there are some. I mean, the fight choreography also in episode 1 with John was. Why is he still so clumsy? I mean, he doesn't have a semblance, but he clearly has been in fights before. Why is he still stumbling around, barely avoiding shit? That's a gag that should have died after episode 1 or season 1.
I'll give you a hint. I'll give you a hint because Miles and Carrie are really bad writers.
Yeah,
that's maybe a contributing factor.
Yeah, like if you go on the RWBY Wiki, who are the writers? It's Miles and Carrie. No one. They don't have anyone else. I doubt that they have a team consulting with them.
They don't. It's only them. But Monty and Shane and uncredited Sheena Ohm did a lot of contributing for the first like 2.5 volumes.
Like if we take a look at volume 2, like the writing for what do you call it? The Breach, which is one of the best episodes of the series. The finale of episode 2. It's Miles, Monty, and Carrie. Still 3 writers, but 3 is a crowd, and that helps with the team. They should have gotten somebody else.
Like Monty has like way more of like a clear like sense of like pacing, like compared to Miles and Carrie.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think there's like a spot on the volume 2 commentary that sort of like sums up like the relationship that Monty had with Miles and Carrie, where Raven comes into the train car and Miles is like surprised that is happening and he didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. But I think that's something that happened on like volume 2 commentary. I don't know. Yeah. That's sort of if I am remembering correctly, because I probably should have gone and watched it just to make sure, but I'm terrible at my job. It sort of like sums up the like I don't know. I'm also tired.
Yeah. Now I again, volume 4 has not resonated very well unless I've immediately watched it before this podcast. Did they mention the villains in episode 1? Like, were they there?
Yeah, they started with the villains, the extremely cookie cutter villains and then they made the actually interesting villains look really, really bad and seem like they aren't gonna get like any development whatsoever in this volume. Yeah. And then they cut to the random farm guy for like 5 seconds. Mm-hmm. And then they actually cut to the thing that people actually wanted to see. And by that I mean Jean and not RWBY, because the show is called Jean, right?
Yeah. My thing is, why is
Andrew go?
Yeah, I don't know. He muted his mic. But why are Andrew and not Andrew? I got distracted. Why are Mercury and Emerald's still there. They're clearly outclassed, and Cinder's obviously taking orders. So why are they there? They're basically henchmen at this point.
They are.
I'll give you
her henchmen.
I'll give you a hint because Miles and Carrie aren't good writers.
Yep. I do like Cinder's new look though. It does look really cool.
It looks okay, but like her entire existence is a huge fucking plot hole.
No, it just hasn't been addressed yet. We don't know what the fuck
No,
she
it's
is.
a huge plot hole any way you look at it. Any fucking way you
She's
look at
the
it.
origin. It's not a
Any way you look at it, it's a huge plot hole that she's still alive after the end of 3.
Yeah, she got disintegrated. Let me explain why it's a plot hole, even if they explain it. She's been the main bad guy for 4 seasons, and we barely know anything about her. Why is that?
Listen, I actually liked a lot of the mystery that she had in the first 3 volumes. And, like, I still stand by that, like, my favorite episode of Volume 3 is the Cinder episode. Just because it, like, I don't know, her intimidating presence just, like, resonates with me on, like, oh, this is, like, a really good villain sort of way.
Exactly.
But then they just throw that away. And I don't know where they're going with it, but, like, it doesn't seem to be going a place that, like, actually is, you know, good. Have I mentioned I'm tired? I'm going to drink some caffeine.
I just had some lunch earlier, so I'm all good. But, yeah. What do you think, Andrew? What do you think about Cinder? Do you think...
I got a mixed message when I was watching Volume 3 at the end of it. I was like, is she going to live or is she dead? They didn't mention anything about...
I thought she was either dead or, like frozen at the top of Beacon Tower.
Yeah, well, I didn't know about the... I don't know. I think the gray eyes would only really affect in a large part Grimm.
Well, you say that, but then how did it fucking do anything with Cinder?
Hold on. I wasn't finished.
That's just a theory. A RWBY theory.
Damn it. MatPat surrounds our lives and binds us together. I think that I wasn't when I watched that episode at first, I was like, did she live? Did she die? I don't know. But I didn't think that when they said, oh, that the dragon thing is frozen at the top. I didn't think like, oh, Cinder, she either got killed or
Hello? Are you still... Hello? I can't hear anyone.
Oh no. Something... Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, good. He had to drop out for a second.
Okay.
But did you hear what I said about Cinder?
I heard that at the end, etc., etc.
Oh shit. Okay, basically to reiterate, at the end of Volume 3, I either felt that she was either dead or she was wounded, and it turns out she was wounded. So it wasn't a huge surprise when she was back.
What happened to her voice, though?
Here's my thing, though. Like,
I don't know what happened to her voice, in all honesty.
It's a huge plot hole that she is alive and RWBY is also alive, because those two things can't, like, happen. So here's the thing. Either she's fully incapacitated by the blast and, like, basically can't move, like she appears to not be able to move in, like, the safety of this Grimm hideout, or she was completely unaffected. And either one presents a huge plot hole, because in plot hole number 1, where she is affected, why the fuck didn't Crow, like, apprehend or, like, kill her when he went up there to get RWBY?
What if she...
Why the fuck did that happen?
What if she was blasted off the side of the ledge?
Okay, so how the fuck did she survive the fall?
Why do you think she's fucked up? Clearly not doing well. She's
well, I mean, like, that she doesn't have any, like, broken bones. It's that she can't speak and her eye is gone or something. I don't know, but it's
an eye for an eye.
It clearly indicated that the blast did something. So in plot hole number 1, it doesn't make sense that she's alive, but it would also be incapacitated. In plot hole number 2, if she wasn't affected by the blast, which obviously we now see that she was affected by the blast, then how the fuck is RWBY still alive? So either way that you look at it, there's no part of this makes sense.
I don't know. We'll see.
Because if she was, like, sort of incapacitated, well, you say that, but, like, I'm having less and less hope that, like, anything is ever going to be explained in a satisfying way again.
Hold on.
Yeah. Their writing has been letting me down for 2 years now, and I can't take it anymore.
But there's one scene that we can all agree is fucking beautiful. It's when the Grim comes out of the ground. That scene looks fucking good.
Is that beautiful?
I think it looks fucking great.
That looked way better when they did the same effect in Poser in Volume 3.
Yeah.
With smoke instead of like really shitty CG goo.
I like the goo. The goo's cool.
Well,
Yeah.
yes, but it's like very easy to see that it's CG goo. Like it doesn't look like actual goo or anime goo. It looks like CG goo. It looks like the like stock CG goo that you could make in 5 fucking seconds in any animation program.
Fair. But I liked it.
I don't know. We've spent way too much time just talking about episode 1. We have like
Move on to
we have 3 other episodes.
In my opinion, the worst episode of the arc so far of that volume.
Where are we? What episode are we moving on to?
Episode 2, right? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Episode 2. That's your least favorite.
I hate the freaking like family
Okay.
drama between freaking.
We're moving on to chapter 2. Are you joking?
Yes, that should have been the
okay.
title.
So
Okay, let me just say what pisses me off like immediately. The title, Remembrance. That's not a real word.
That
It's not
doesn't. Wait, is that the real title?
Remembrance. That's the real title. I'm looking at it right now.
That can't be.
I gotta say, like it's probably this volume is like viscerally upsetting to me in a lot of places, but in a lot of other places, it gets to the point where it is so bad that it is good. Because like, and I absolutely
get there.
the room quality bullshit. Because it's like I
word.
specifically
Remembrance.
rest in peace, Randy the random fucking huntsman. Oh my god, I feel so bad for that random guy that spilled ketchup on his uniform.
How
What
cool?
are
Okay,
you talking about?
we're talking about the opening.
That
Like,
it,
okay.
in the beginning of chapter 2, like they encounter this like random huntsman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh my god, are we supposed to feel bad for this? Are you serious? Why
Wouldn't
the
it have
fuck
been
should
cool?
we care about some fucking Randy?
Wouldn't it have been
Oh my
cool
God.
if it was one of the other students that
That
we've
would have been
seen?
cool.
Yeah,
Do you think-
like if it was like from another team, or like, hey, maybe like one of those billions of fucking characters you introduced in Volume 3 and didn't do anything about, and
Like,
that are
what
just
if it was
like
like
gone
the
now.
cat who died? Like,
Yeah,
and you
if
imply
it
that our
was
whole
like-
team's dead.
Well, I mean, but to do that,
hours.
you'd actually like. Probably the most upsetting thing about like Volume 4 to me is that like there's like so many ways in which you can just like clearly see how it could have been better if they gave a shit.
Yeah.
And like there's more and more of that like as the season goes on, but like there's so many different ways in which they could have made so many more moments so much more impactful.
I do have to agree.
And-
Yeah.
But I mean, for
I
now,
was
we need to be in a state of constant remembrance of Randy the random huntsman,
R.I.P.
the guy who spilled ketchup on his uniform.
I do have to agree. I wish that I wish they would have, like, I was really hoping, like when I saw Volume 3, I was like, oh man, I hope when they scatter, they find all these, they now know people in all parts of the world. They should be able to encounter them again. That would be really cool to see, that, and then it feels like the world was built out, but no,
I remember like in the last podcast when you're saying, listen, I think we're just not giving them enough credit. I think they're just going to like expand the world and stuff. And it's like, are you starting to see what I'm saying about that?
I wish they would have.
Are you starting to maybe see?
I do agree that Randy should not have been there. It should have been someone else.
His name will forever be Randy. We need to add that to the wiki right now.
His wiki is the Dying Huntsman. I'm looking at it right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Known for only
No,
one
wait,
thing.
wait.
Please edit that
He
to
was
be
voiced by
Randy the
tiny
Random
films,
Huntsman.
guys. It's okay. He's voiced by a big VA, sort of. Yay!
Oh
I
god.
don't know, man.
Anyways,
Randy
have I
the
mentioned that I love exposition because there's so much exposition in this episode that's just like so great? Don't you just love exposition? Why, I can recount word for word the amount of exposition that I love. You see, when I started 40 years ago,
Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah.
why
It's
don't
just
you
like
fucking save that for the world of Remnant shit. I don't want exposition mixing with my actual fucking story. It's like they created the World of Remnant. They created the like World of Remnant series sub-series like specifically to cover exposition, and then they don't fucking do anything with it.
Wasn't RWBY meant to be like this awesome fighting anime? Why are we like sitting in Weiss's home where her dad's like locking her up? Like, why do you care about that?
I'll give you a hint. It's because Miles and Carrie aren't good writers.
I want them to see this podcast and then hear their rebuttal. Because why is one of the coolest, one of the best characters that she goes to a character? She changes. She goes to a character arc and they lock her up. It's like Sword Art Online all over again.
Yeah, this is the Alfheim of. I have to say, like, this is like the worst time that I could have possibly started a RWBY podcast.
Yeah,
it's like somebody starting a Dragon Ball podcast right before GT starts.
Oh yeah, or Super. Super's a little bit better.
I haven't seen Super. I haven't seen Super, but like people have very mixed opinions on it. But anyways, let's get back to exposition.
Let's talk about good anime like RWBY. No.
Okay, so
it used to be.
I seriously do think, as much as I'm harping on them, I seriously think that Miles and Carrie were once actually really competent writers.
Because they had a third person in there.
They had somebody moderating them and moderating their egos, and somebody that was like specifically there to try to give the viewers like great things rather than to boost their own ego. Like every part of like everything that they're doing now, I absolutely think is just to boost their ego.
I disagree, but I do think in a way that 3 is a great number for when you're writing. Like I remember when like I mentioned this earlier.
1 or 3. Don't do 2.
3. Back to what I was saying.
Yeah.
Aaron and I were working on something a while back, and my friend and I we had written it, and then Aaron got to it, and then he's like, obviously bored by it, and then we're like, wait, hold on. We reread the whole. He ended up rewriting the whole thing because of that, and he's like, yeah, that iteration was pretty garbage. And then
I didn't like rewrite the whole thing, but
he ended up cutting a lot out. But I think 3 is the perfect amount of people to write with, because you can all bounce off each other. That being said, that's why we have 3. That's also why we have a three system of government. Each is a check and balance of each other. And without that third.
And this concludes our American Studies lecture.
Yeah.
If you didn't know enough about the system after this year.
Like, sort of like the point that I was trying to transition to is I seriously cannot look at Volume 4 and think that the same people worked on the first 2 volumes of RWBY and seasons 11 and 12, and even like some parts of season 10 of Red versus Blue. I cannot possibly see that. Like, if you told me, if like I had not heard any of the news about like Volume 4, if you had told me that RWBY had been shipped off to like soulless company in Hollywood and the writers were both fired and replaced by new people who just wanted a paycheck, I would fucking believe you, because this shows that.
Well, I also think that it has to do with how much Rooster Teeth grew within the past year alone.
I don't know. You say that, but like growth does not necessarily mean that things have to change. Look at Valve.
Exactly.
Fucking look at Valve.
Listen. I think that they're being stretched thin, and that's not helping.
They are being stretched like the opposite. They're not being stretched thin, is what I'm trying to say. I was trying to like do like a metaphor simile thing, and then I'm too tired for that. This is probably the most resources that they've ever had for RWBY. They're not being stretched thin at all. And also, they determine when they release these. If they wanted, like, you think that the reason that Rick and Morty is being delayed is because they don't have enough resources for it to finish it?
They just want it to look good.
No, it's because they have the passion to actually make it good.
And I'm so excited for it.
Yeah. Anyways, going back to talking about RWBY, this is like the least thin that they've ever been stretched. Yeah. And you can absolutely tell about it.
Yeah.
Tired.
This isn't a side project anymore. This is their second biggest show behind, and probably
this
it
is
is
their
bigger than
biggest show.
RVB. Well, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, RVB does not have a Japanese dub.
True.
RVB does not have
With
like
Star
theatrical releases in Japan.
And a manga coming up, which will probably be better than the show.
Yeah. The manga is really great. I'm actually really excited for the manga. Maybe we'll talk about that at some point.
I want an anime adaptation of the manga.
Dude, my pie in the sky hope for the series is that it tanks so bad after this volume and then potentially volume 5 that they sell the rights off to somebody who actually gives a shit about RWBY. And
David
they
Productions.
They reboot it in the style that Monty was like actually going for. That's my pie in the sky hope. It'll never happen because the fans don't want to actually admit that the show is actually getting worse.
Yeah, because I have people like, oh, Yas, Crow is Bay is Daddy AF. I'm looking in the comments. I'm like, are you people, like, where do these people come in? Why is Rooster Teeth so like this now? I mean, I sound like an old man, and I'm 18. Like, I have loved Rooster Teeth for most of my life. Like, I've been a fan since RVB season 3, around there.
I've been a fan since season 9.
Yeah.
And like I think I missed that golden age that started like somewhere around when Monty joined the team. Because I seriously think we've talked about that Monty is imperfect and I understand that, but I seriously think that his like energy and drive gave everybody else more motivation to make things really great.
Yeah. Make RWBY great again. Make that trend.
I wish somebody would.
Donald Trump is going to direct the next season of RWBY, and it'll be great. Believe it. I make the best animations. The best.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
He's so good with the cyber.
Yeah. Nobody makes better RWBY fans.
Anyways. We should probably get back to talking about the show because we've been talking about this for, I think, like at least an hour.
Yeah, I think we're almost an hour in. So are we still on episode 2, or do you want to move on to 3?
We're still on episode 2. I want to talk really briefly about what the fuck was with that guy with the changing eyes and personalities. Who the fuck wrote that in? It must have been somebody else. It was the fucking stupidest bullshit I've ever seen in my life. It looked awful. It was animated awful. It was directed awful. Everything about it was awful. What am I watching?
Yeah.
This is not RWBY. Jesus Christ, what the fuck even is this?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
but hey, they got Beerus from Dragon Ball to voice Weiss's dad. Awesome. They got Jason Douglas, who's a really great VA to play RWBY's dad. Or not RWBY, Weiss's dad. Yay! Everybody's happy.
I want to move on really quick to the only actual part that looks good in this volume so far. The part where they go back to the old art style. Because when Pyrrha's on the screen in episode 2, they go back to the old art style.
Oh, yeah.
That's so jarring.
Oh my god. It looks so good again. Oh my god. Like things are consistent in the shading and line work and they have backface calling lines and it looks so great. But it also looks really jarring to like have the art style change so drastically in 6 months.
Yep.
I do like the lighting and everything about that scene with John.
Yeah, I think that's like one thing about this shader that I will admit is that night looks really great.
Yeah.
Night usually looks, I don't know, maybe it's just because of how like the algorithms interpolate different colors of light, but it often looks way better at night and sunset than it ever has any right to be in this stupid goddamn bullshit shader.
I think, oh god, it looks so good on the scene though.
Yeah.
There's like a shine to it that there's not really been in other episodes that just like really brought it together for me.
Fucking great.
Yeah.
As well. It just looks that scene looks so gorgeous.
Yeah. My question is
too bad.
Why are they implying that RWBY likes John? Because I don't think so.
I don't know, and I don't think so. I think she just stumbled across. I think that was more Jean development than RWBY development.
Yeah, because the show's named John.
Yeah.
I think that I think what they're kind of doing is they might be doing this whole it all comes around again thing with RWBY.
Surround-
Well, you say that, but you also
on.
fucking said
Hold on.
in Volume 3 that like they were gonna reuse those characters in Volume 4 as expanding the universe as they travel to different places, and you were completely utterly wrong about that. So I think giving any of these giving either of these writers the benefit of the doubt is kind of dangerous at this point.
Yep.
Well, here's the thing. I think that it could be possibly that there's a cycle going on, like Jean's first girlfriend dies, like
They weren't even dating.
well, true.
They
never
just
mind.
both liked each other, and it finally accumulated to Pyrrha just like macking on John and then kicking him into a locker. So she
And the
basically
stupidest character moment ever.
Yeah, but okay, let's take a minute really quick. Miles did a great job voice acting there. Like I actually really liked that scene, like quite a lot. Like you could like I as a voice actor, I really can I like pointing out stuff like that. Miles is a good VA. Not a terrible writer, but a really good VA.
I think he has the potential to be a really good VA, and I've liked a lot of his stuff in the past, but I think his ego is really starting to get in the way of things.
Of his writing. I still like his voice acting.
Well, yes, but I think that he is so convinced that he's such a great writer and such a great actor that he his talent sort of diminishes. But I don't know. That's just my view on it.
I can
You
see
guys
that.
are wearing down my soul.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Defend yourself. You gotta be more
we do-
passionate. If you want to defend it, defend it.
can
Don't
all
be like,
agree-
yeah, you guys have a
beating
point.
me
Defend
down.
it.
It's just, I'm
we
done.
can all agree though. We can all agree that the scene does look visually great, right?
Yeah, it does.
Are you okay, man?
You need a
I'm
hug.
sorry.
This every time we get on this podcast, it just wears me out. It's hard. It's only
Well, it
been
does
an
the same
hour,
to me.
too.
You think I like talking about how much I hate Volume 4? I would really love to talk about how much I love Volume 4, but I don't.
Yeah.
And it tires me out how much I don't love it.
Yeah.
Which is a nice segue into the tire fire of the volume so far.
Volume.
Chapter 3.
I got good notes for this, so let's just get right into it.
Worst looking boat in history.
Yeah, the boat in the water looks like something out of not the HD remake of Wind Waker. Like it looks like it's straight out of a GameCube.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Listen. Maya is so much more powerful, you guys. You can do so much more with it.
Yeah.
Maya is just the most powerful software ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that
What do you think?
My brain.
Come on, fight
what
for
were
it.
we just talking about? I totally
Talking about episode 3.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm just like my brain. It does not work right now.
All right, let's just. I have some notes for this. The opening scene. Why does Blake throw out a ribbon? Why did she do that? If she's been on the boat, I guess she's going to. I didn't know that she was going to a faunus area. But doesn't she do that if?
I'll give you a hint. Because
Miles
and Carrie aren't good writers.
Yeah. But doesn't she need that? And why isn't she talking to the captain if we're implying she's been on the boat? I'm just.
There's way too many plot holes. I sort of kind of get what they were going for, I guess, is that she's leaving the past behind. But it's okay, well what if she runs into any of her fellow classmates that don't know she's a faunus? That cat's out of the bag. Are they gonna God, I didn't even mean to. Damn it.
That cat's out of the you're right. It is. It's out of the ribbon.
Fuck.
Yeah,
I didn't mean to do that, I swear.
It's all right. That was a good one, though. What have we got? Barbara in here?
Oh, jeez.
Feels Barbara in here. But also, about Barbara, I don't get... I understand the whole Yang feeling depressed because, she lost her arm. This is so out of character for her, though. It is.
Yeah.
You get your arm cut off,
I think
you're
that
going to drop some confidence.
But
yes, but
it wasn't her fault.
They promised in the RTX panel that this would not be the Mopey season, and they fucking lied.
They did.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is the Mopey season
For Gang, especially.
It's they seem to think that Edge is the same as Dark.
Yeah,
and I don't know. I think that like a lot of things in Volume 4, it had the potential to actually be really powerful, but they didn't want to put in the effort to actually make it more relatable.
Like, just have Yang be really excited. Like, oh yeah, I can go out and do. Oh, I can't because I don't have 2 arms. Like, just imply that she still wants to do things, but make her slowly realize that she can't do this anymore. Don't have her immediately adjust to this moment of life.
I think what would have been better.
Yeah, part of how like people deal with things is that they sort of like equal out to a happiness equilibrium, and this actually does happen with like people who are, you know, who have lost limbs and stuff. Like they for a while to where they sort of feel the same as they did before. Not that they're not dealing with shit, but that they're not like sulking every solitary minute of the day.
Well, I get that. I think that what would have been better, suited better, and you're gonna hate me for saying this, is that if they would have off-put some of this mopiness and put it into Jean, I think would have been better because
he's still got mopiness though.
He's not that bad though. He seems.
Oh, he's so edgy.
No,
he
seems like he's barely changed.
He could cut Diamond with how edgy he is.
Yeah, Diamond is unbreakable though.
He doesn't like give off an
better
edginess, but when you actually see how edgy he is under the surface, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, that bunny hoodie is super edgy. So
yeah.
Hey, Pumpkin Pete's is nothing to joke about. Also, Peter with the mascot, Pumpkin Pete's.
You can now buy Pumpkin Pete's merch at the Rooster Teeth store. Only $29.95.
You want to support the series? Go fuck yourself.
That's so expensive for a hoodie.
Yeah.
Double gold, only $25 more.
I don't know why. Why? I don't want loot crates. I don't want fucking boxes showing up in my house.
I don't want.
Loot crate was cool for a year, and then I'm just like, I'm done with this. I can't afford.
I still have a subscription to Lit Anime. Hey, Lit Anime, if you want to like sponsor me, I'm totally down with that.
Yeah. Hey, we love anime. It's like we love anime, right?
Into just general anime.
Listen, I think First and Double Gold are fucking terrible ideas. Because it makes me, and I've been a sponsor since like season 9.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me feel like less of a dedicated fan. Like they're saying that like, and I know they're not outright saying it, but it feels to me like they're implying that you're not as big of a fan if your wallet isn't big enough.
Yeah. Like extra. I mean, like all this other shit.
Listen, I will gladly shell out money for sponsorship if I have money. Because I enjoy the extra content. I love like the extra immersion stuff. It's fucking great. Immersion.
I would be a sponsor just to watch. I would be a sponsor just to watch all of those like sponsor exclusive Red versus Blue things. Dude. Like they had this huge marketing campaign for sponsors around the time that like season 12 was coming out, and it was just they had these audio recordings that were like so like good. The one for Locust was excellent. I don't know. Like that stuff like that is what actually makes me believe that somewhere deep down Miles is actually a competent writer. But I don't know. I feel like their whole new strategy.
You don't know who it is. There's 2 people.
Yes, I know, but like they should balance out to a happy equilibrium at some point.
I don't know.
And it's not like his writing has been anything spectacular. That's also been going down the tubes very rapidly since season 12. Season 12 was great, and then it's like. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to talk about it. I have a video coming out soon.
Yeah. RWBY is great, and I'd love to talk about that too, since I'm actually a little bit more of a fan of RWBY than I refuse to watch season 14 since it's just much a short. It's not even a real plot.
I liked it. Like the
It's depressing to me.
Don't do a slice of life season after a big cliffhanger at the end of season 13.
Well, you see, if they do more art styles like that, then they can sell a lot more merch.
God damn it! Full screen buying Rooster Teeth was the worst.
But listen, they said that they weren't going to interfere or anything, so they're obviously going to keep to that, right? I mean, it's not like a larger company has a vested financial interest in meddling in things to make sure that they get the highest return on their investment. That's never happened before in anything ever.
Yeah, look, I understand why Bernie stepped down to take care of his kids, to hook up with Ashley.
I fully support that. I absolutely think.
Yeah. But
it's good on him to do that because he also got to like do more of what he wanted to do.
Yeah. Bernie's one of my favorite people at RT. He always has been. Love his voice acting. He's really funny on the podcast, and he's just a cool guy. Like if I ever met him, I'd probably want to grab a beer with him, even though I can't yet. But
I met him. He's super nice.
yeah.
Okay.
I just don't understand.
We're sort of getting back a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know.
All
Long
right.
story short, I feel like Matt made a bad decision.
Yeah,
Buying.
and it sort of contributed. And I don't know. I have videos coming out about stuff, but they take
Let's
a long
look
time.
at episode 3. I have more notes on this too. So I have like a literally.
Okay.
Can we?
A lot of
Hang
these
on,
characters in episode 3 like talk in ways that people don't fucking talk. And
Yeah.
it's like it's nobody fucking like no captain of a fucking boat goes up to a passenger and fucking like just randomly strikes up a conversation with them because they're traveling alone.
Yeah.
And like doubly nobody like hears somebody talking to them on a boat with crowded passengers and
gets
fucking
scared.
tries to pull out a sword.
Well, she has PTSD
Nobody
too.
does that.
Yeah, she has PTSD too, they say. No, they don't. They threw all that on Yang. Why does Blake feel any of that? If she had PTSD, she wouldn't have ran away. She would have just kind of stayed where she was, like Yang has. Give me a break.
I'm honestly so. I don't know why. I just like after you guys just go on for a while. I'm just like I can't defend this anymore. I'm just too tired to defend it. Like I have to fight two people at the same time.
I'm trying to say that
feel
some
so
scenes are
sorry.
good. Like I love Sun. Sun's introduction, like and reveal was great. Like you thought it was like
Yeah, that was cool.
yeah, like Sun's
They actually have competent cell shading again because it's at sunset and things actually look generally okay as far as the shading goes. But then I don't know. We'll get to that.
The cell shading works really well in extreme environments. Like if it's really,
It feels
really
like-
bright or really dark, it looks great. But if it's in the middle, it's meh.
Yeah.
So I think
I don't know. I think that's just like the shaders that they made aren't like really versatile enough because they didn't like. I don't think they really tested them enough.
Well, they might get a new shader next season. That'll be the perfect. They'll use
Well,
it during
you
the
say
middle.
that, but with fans like praising how this season looks and like not actually criticizing it, do you honestly think that RT is going to have any incentive to do that when they can get like 90% of their audience to buy the like Volume 4 Blu-ray when it comes out, and tell them that this art style like looks wonderful and not criticize them at all? You honestly think that they're going to have any incentive to improve the shaders?
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, I feel like there were a lot of animation issues in this episode, but in your notes, you say you didn't like the dragon fight scene. I actually really liked it.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I liked
oh my
it,
god.
Okay, because
That is the worst fucking fight.
Sun
in
is
this
my favorite character.
It is.
Are we all on the
It
same
is.
checklist? Because I do not see any.
Hey, maybe try scrolling down because that was a problem for
Yeah.
you when you were looking at
I
Volume 1 checklist.
Oh god.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked how they made
Okay,
it.
we'll get to that. We have a few more things in between that and now. Okay, so
Yeah, I thought we were talking about cell shading. It's the next point.
yeah, well, yeah, but we like sort of skipped to the cell shading because I suck at my job.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
Yeah. I don't know.
They seem to be cramming a lot of characters into things. Like they want to give every character like a unique, like you know, like they want to treat every character like they're going to be a side character in the future, despite the fact that they're probably going to show up once in the entire fucking show.
They didn't even name the captain. They just his wiki article is captain.
And hey, we can never forget Randy, the random huntsman who spilled ketchup on his uniform.
Yep. Isn't like the blood in Ruby's very inconsistent, so I don't get why they made him have ketchup on his uniform. Like, I don't know.
We have so much left to go.
I feel bad for Andrew right now.
I'm just so
I feel
tired.
really bad for it. I'm
Hey,
sorry.
Go watch Volume 2. Make yourself feel better. Watch the awesome, like the freaking amazing.
Volume 3, you mean.
Dude, Volume 2 with animator commentary is the fucking best. It's like I can get so much more into Monty's head when I hear him talk about his scenes. Anyways, let's talk about Volume 4.
Yep.
Okay.
Talk about good anime.
All right.
So they're not talking about RWBY, huh?
Quick question.
Yeah.
What's your cool question?
Could we you have a lot of like that last bullet you have seems like it's gonna take a long time to cover. Could we replace that with the community spotlight stuff and talk about?
Well, yeah, but we don't have Steven here to talk about anything.
Yeah.
Like the community spotlight for this week was going to be for his stuff, and he didn't show up.
I can try to talk about it because I've been.
Well, yeah, but I specifically wanted to talk about like
We can say
there's a lot of production things that you don't necessarily. Let's just continue going. We've been going for like over an hour, so we should probably just keep going as much as we can.
Yep.
Okay, so I think this is probably the worst piece of animation I've ever seen out of Rooster Teeth from like I don't even know how many years that I've been watching Rooster Teeth, but I think that like this is the worst piece of like any animation that I've ever seen from them. It's just shit. It's utter fucking shit.
How do you take a look at it again? Because I'm gonna. I just want to like make sure we're watching the same fight because I didn't like the choreography. Like I liked when Sun caught Blake. That was really cool. Like Blake caught Sun and Sun caught Blake. Like I thought that was a cool interaction.
They do that move where they go 300 feet in the air above the serpent like 5 fucking times.
Yeah, that.
And it's the same fucking move that they use in episode 1 where Ren goes up into the fucking air from the same fucking angle and looks at the fucking Grim from the same fucking angle.
Yeah, since when could they fly? Like, why did they suddenly start jumping like 200 feet in the air?
That's why I think that, like, listen, people want to, like, talk about how, like, absolutely nuts Monty's physics are, but they never, like, they always stayed consistent within themselves. They felt like they are real, even though they technically aren't real. Like, everything had a sense of weight and physicality to it that they just don't put in there now.
Yeah.
Like, everybody launches into the... I actually would not be surprised if, this just turned into fucking people flying through the air with key blasts and fucking beam struggles.
Yeah. What I wonder, they're gonna introduce stance now. It's just they might as well copy JoJo at this point because they're just like copying everything. Like it's like they're on a boat. They're just like doing shit. Like I didn't like a lot of the writing in this episode, but I did like one specific line. Like Sun's like, "Oh, this is a journey to the east. I like the sound of that."
Yeah.
That's a joke.
That was a nice pun.
That was 4 seasons.
That's a joke for all of you
all
people.
Know it.
Yeah, that was absolute. That I will concede that that's actually some clever stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know, but like nothing in the fight has a physicality to it. It just seems like it's a bunch of CG models that people are manipulating in a CG program, rather than like I don't know, like even though he said that a lot of it was hand keyed, a lot of his work was hand keyed. Monty was really great about blending mocap and hand key to make things seem like they were more like realistic as in terms with movement.
Yeah.
That and it gave it like a glow and personality to the animation that I just rarely ever see anymore. I don't think I've seen it in like any places other than like Monty and then a couple of other like really high class animation studios, which is why I love so much that he like decided to do shit online rather than like go through studios, because his entire fucking like basis of his work was like trying to show the audience that creating stuff is easy and like you don't need to go through like all of these layers of production to make something cool.
Yeah,
I don't know. I got a little bit off topic there, but anyways.
I want to bring up another animation issue that I have. The explosions look horrible. They're
terrible. They suck.
I don't remember that.
I don't know. Hey, remember when the effects were all really good because they were all hand drawn by Shane Newville? If only they hadn't pissed that guy off
and fired him. I remember.
And fucked him over in like a million different ways.
Yeah. I still don't know the full story behind that, so I'm gonna have to look that up later. But
I'm trying to do as much research as I can and put it into a video.
Because it's important.
Hey, Andrew, are you doing all right? I'm really sorry.
Yeah. It's fine. You guys are just like I'm Batman, and you guys are Bane, and you guys are taking turns. Just
can I be the Joker? I like being the Joker.
No. You guys are breaking my back, literally. Like you took my entire bite. I have the comic actually right over here. Actually, I have the one when Azrael, the guy who takes over for Batman,
I love that. I love
phase that.
Undertale. Undertale's great.
As-
Oh, you're talking about Ezreal. Okay.
Yeah, from I see you moving in the Google Doc. Uh-oh.
I'm just moving to like we should probably start moving on to the
I
next
will
episode.
So-
I've been
interject
going at this
because
for a
I
while.
should, and I feel like I need to.
Andrew, I'll
I
be on your
agree.
side. Episode 3, I did like a little bit more than
Yeah.
I thought it was good.
I'm
Not
it's not one
amazing.
of my favorite episodes.
It was between okay and good.
I think
a 7.
I probably think chapter 4 was probably one of my favorite episodes.
No.
Oh God. Okay, well, let's keep on this. Let's keep on this.
Go to chapter 4.
But I'm going back to chapter 3 right now.
Okay.
I think that you are right that there's some physicality that is lost that isn't, Monty, but they're also hiring a bunch of probably younger animators who don't have the experience. And does Gray do any animation, or is he just a voice actor?
Is he just
He
he's a
doesn't do any
director?
animation. Carrie doesn't do any animation. Miles doesn't do any animation. Gray doesn't do any animation.
They're just
Yet they all
directors.
seem perfectly qualified to say that Monty's animation workflow was more damaging.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I understand. Okay, but I have a question. Like,
Listen,
wait,
my logical argument for why I don't think Miles, Carrie, and Gray really thought through their decision was because you know how like a lot of really good, like really well animated shows are from directors who are themselves or who were previously animators. Like you got really great stuff like Gravity Falls and Rick and Morty and anything by Miyazaki and anything by Anno. And like those things are all like so well animated because their directors know how to work with animators and know like what needs to happen animation wise. And they can take into account things in animation that I don't see Miles, Carey, and Gray really considering.
Yeah. I was really like, I remember the RTX when they announced that Gray was taking over for animation. I was like, wasn't Shane like the guy for animation? Like even back then I was like,
Shane and Monty, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, why is Gray taking over? I mean, I like him as a voice actor, but why is he taking over?
Well, he was taking over production role. He
Yeah.
was taking
Like,
over
what-
the.
He's the head of RT Animation.
Yes, but he's the head of RT Animation because he's a producer.
Yeah.
And they
One's
thought
dead,
that
one's dead to RT.
they thought it'd be smarter to give a producer the role of the lead of the animation studio.
Apparently, he's done visual effects.
Yeah, he's a VFX artist, but that doesn't necessarily mean that
somebody
he's an
has
animator.
done animation.
He did Jeff Who Lives at Home, My Sucky Teen Romance, and RWBY.
Okay.
Jeff Who Lives. Oh,
Are we getting off track? I feel like we
No,
might be
well, we
getting
were
off
talking
track
about
here.
the process of it. But at the end of episode 3, they show a scene between Cinder, whose design I will repeat, I love a lot. Like, I love her short hair. It looks great. Keep that going. But why are Mercury, like, I just, like, they're just kind of like, are they going to turn? Are they going to, like, join the team?
From how they looked and how they talked, they felt like, I think they felt like either out of water or they were like, oh shit, I thought this was just like a little rebellion thing. We're in way deeper than I thought we would be. Time to get the fuck out of here.
They turned my favorite villain characters into my least favorite villain characters. They just sucked all of the personality out of them.
Which character are you talking about?
Every single villain character in RWBY was my favorite villain character in like RWBY because they were all so likably despicable and so intimidating. But now the people that they're pushing as more intimidating are all of these really stock like bullshit characters where it's like you have the stock crazy guy and you have the stock gentleman and you have the stock hefty guy, and that's like basically how to do an anime villain trope 101. And they're replacing the villains that I actually found really interesting. Torchwick is gone. Neo is gone. Cinder is pretty much not the character that she was. Neither is Emerald. Neither is Mercury.
Yep.
Okay. Are we gonna go into 4 now?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Can I ask?
Yeah.
I'm getting.
So
what?
There's.
Well, no, we're not on track. We're off track because I think we're talking about the episode.
Yeah. On the subject of Ozpin, I'm really interested about this Oscar character. Like Like I know you're probably not, and you probably hate it because you hate everything.
I have a specific note written about that, but go on.
I think that Ozpin is the old man from the fairy tale that gave the four maidens the power.
Well, no shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No fucking shit. Gee, I wonder who this character is.
Yeah.
Let me put on my thinking cap.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Okay, so should we move on to chapter 4, like talking about it in earnest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my thing is, why do I hear, "Hello, I'm Professor Ozpin"? Why do they immediately like just spoil that?
I'll give you a hint. I'll give you a hint.
There it goes again.
Okay. Here's the note that I have written about that like whole thing. Mirror, mirror on the wall. What's the stupidest plot line of all? Because it's so fucking I don't know how to describe how fucking bullshit I felt when that happened. It's like really.
Yeah, like I don't remember. Did Ozpin ever fight? Do we remember?
Yep. He fought with Cinder for about 10 fucking seconds. That looked like some of the most awesome. It was some of the most awesome imagery in all of RWBY, and they cut it short.
To focus more on RWBY and Co. Ozpin, if you're gonna make Ozpin the headmaster, give him a reason why. Like we know why Dumbledore was headmaster of friggin' Hogwarts, because he was wise and he knew his way around magic. But
there was like such a mystery to Ozpin, but now I basically don't care about his character anymore.
Yeah, it's not as
Yeah. Yang, okay. Now moving on from Ozpin, because I feel like that we could talk about that all day. Why? I mean, Yang's nightmare I thought was actually kind of creepy because it kind of like shows Yang's.
I hated it so much. I hated it so much. I hate every fucking second of it because it's just it's a standard dream sequence, and it was so fucking predictable beginning to end. Oh, gee, a dream sequence. I wonder if she's going to have both arms. Oh my god, she has both arms. Oh my god, I wonder if Adam is going to show up. Oh my god, Adam shows up. I wonder if she's going to have Ember Celica. Oh my god, she has Ember Celica, and they look like shit for some reason.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I wonder if Adam's going to get closer and she's going to lose her arm. Oh my god, he got closer and she lost the arm. I wonder if he's going to unsheath the blade. He unsheathed the blade. I didn't see any of that coming at all.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm done with
it. It shouldn't take 4 episodes for Yang to get back into action. Like, I can't go 4 episodes without Yang making a pun. That pisses me off. Like, and with the whole arm plot line, she missed a perfect opportunity to make, guess I'm armed now. Like, why? Where was that? I missed that. Where was it?
Like a lot of things in Volume 4, I just like the reason I hate that dream sequence is because there's very easy ways that they could have made it way better. What if instead of just like having it be a creepy like stock dream sequence, they just had her training with the robot arm with Tai Yang outside, and then suddenly Adam shows up and fucking kills Tai Yang. And then fucking, that would have been so fucking scary and intimidating. Yeah, but instead, they just went for like the stock dream like sequence.
Like, and then have her.
I do have to admit, what Aaron just said sounds really good.
Yeah, like have them training. Like,
see, you know how easy that is. You know how easy it is to actually like string the audience along to actually like I don't know.
Like have them think that this is a real thing. Don't imply that it's a dream. Just have them like Yang put on an arm, and they're like, but wait. Where'd she get the arm from? And then have her dad get chopped down, and like she's like, "Oh shit!" And then she wakes up.
Yeah, I mean, it's really surprising to me that Miles worked on this season because he also wrote one of the most intimidating moments in like anything I've ever. The twist in RWBY 12. Works on so many fucking levels and it's so intimidating and it's so great. It's fucking perfect.
Talking about Felix, right?
So perfectly. And then everything he writes now and everything that Carrie writes with him is so damn predictable.
So wait, we're talking about Felix, right? Like the whole reveal with him?
Yeah, we're talking about lots of stuff. Good.
Yeah, amazing work with that.
That was so great.
It was the best.
I love it.
I wish he would fucking write like that again. I want that. I want more. I want more of that, but he's not.
Yeah.
I need it. I need it.
I don't need it. I definitely don't need it.
We've been going for
I
like
need
an hour.
it.
We've been going for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Yes,
So we got
we
half an
have.
hour, I guess, to kind of just like round up episode
Okay.
4 a little bit more.
I think it was
Okay.
I want to talk about.
I thought it was better than episode 3.
I liked the Crow and Raven scene.
Yep.
I liked it. Aaron, I know you're gonna
did
shit.
not.
You don't like anything. Let's
No,
get that out of the
listen.
way.
The reason that I don't like a lot of the stuff is because there's a lot of ways that it could have been better, and that like previous seasons like have done better in like comparable moments. I don't know. We'll get to that. So, anyways, let's talk about the worst acting that Bernie Burns has ever had, in which the singular line, his acting as Tai Yang is actually pretty okay, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is him, but there's
Sure.
just like a line that's just the worst thing ever. It's you're my sunny little dragon, and
I
he
think
says
that's what
it
it's
like
literal
so
translation.
fucking wooden, and it's the worst fucking thing, and it's like so obvious that somebody wrote that. Oh my god!
But I do have to say, like my brother, his friend, and I were watching that episode, and when Tai Yang is just like, you must have lost a few brain cells with that arm. We all visibly jumped and went, "Oh shit!"
And
See,
like
that
was he
actually-
serious?
That actually did feel like sort of like something that would actually happen, and I actually like will give props to that moment. And that's the moment. That's the kind of character writing that I want for Yang's character at this
And
point
it's
in the
like-
story.
Oh no.
But it's like most of what
Sorry.
she's done so far is just fucking mope around. Whereas like I feel like most of how she would be coping 6 months beyond is like this, where she's like laughing about it and like trying to slowly cope with things.
I think that was
Exactly.
this episode though. That was this episode where.
Well,
they were
yes,
just-
but that doesn't make any sense. Why start immediately now after like 6 months of apparent moping?
I don't know, because she's been isolated in a room the whole time. She hasn't been trying.
Okay, she's been isolated besides the fact that we've seen her downstairs before. And besides the fact that like this is seriously the first time that Port and Oobleck have been over in the entire 6 months that this has been
I
going
like
on.
that scene.
I think it's okay. It feels a little bit manufactured to me because it's like, why would they be telling a story that they all already know?
Yeah. Like
I mean,
don't they all
you
know?
recall the old days. That's what you do. Like I constantly like. Okay,
Like, do y'all remember?
Okay,
you
I'll
guys-
concede
so
that.
you guys are a
Mhm.
bit younger than me. You guys are a bit younger than me.
Not by much, dude.
I
Seriously.
constantly reminisce with my friend Tom about the time that he sank his Jeep into a pond, and it's still one of the greatest. I still bring it up. I still
Okay.
laugh about it. It's what we.
Oh.
It's when you get older.
I'll sort of concede that. I generally liked a lot of the writing in this episode more, but
good
it
episode.
also
It's
had
a good
some of the
episode.
like. I'm not gonna do quite that, but I will admit that like some of the writing is actually almost good.
Yeah.
I
But it also has the low point that is you're my sunny little dragon.
You're my sunny little
God.
dragon.
You're
That's a
my
little too
sunny
long for a nickname, in
little
my opinion.
dragon. It's like, and he read it so woodenly.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, anyways, let's talk about retconning, because there's a lot of that in this episode.
I don't
Yeah.
know what you mean by that, but okay.
I absolutely listen. I don't have any definitive proof, and I haven't gone back specifically to research this, like word for word. But there's a lot of things about how Raven is presented now that contrast with how Monty described the character in Volume 2 in the commentary.
Really?
Yeah.
I
And
really
there's
gotta
a
watch
lot
that-
of things
this
where it's like,
animated
wait,
commentary
what?
you keep talking
And then
about.
it's like, I don't know. Big bullshit does not automatically equal mystery, okay? I want that like stated and fucking understood by everybody that vague bullshit does not equal mystery.
Yeah.
Hey, I have a quick question. This is gonna go off topic real fast. So, when Crow and Raven are talking in the bar, and they like Crow brings up this town. Is that the town they end up in episode 5?
I don't know.
Or is that Monty?
haven't seen episode
Not
5.
Monty. Is that Ren's town that he's from?
I have no idea. I haven't seen that episode.
But I don't want to.
I think that's the one. I think that's the one that they went to with Randy the Random Huntsman.
Randy the Random. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you remember all the fun times you had?
I could be
It's
wrong.
like that episode of Rick and Morty.
Oh my
where they-
God, Rip Randy the Random Huntsman.
I miss Randy.
No, it's like, do you guys remember that episode of Rick and Morty where they're like, have fake memories put into their brains? Like, I just imagine
Yeah.
Randy the Random Huntsman. Do you remember when we went barbecuing?
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
That's a great episode of Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
It feels like every character that Miles and Carrie write is like that, where it's like it just feels really like, wait, is this a memory parasite? Are you serious? I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, like there's a lot of things about that character that really sort of conflict with things, and they've absolutely retconned the Volume 2 ending sequence because not because like it conflicted with something that they were going to do. It's because Miles and Carrie did not want that direction for the series, but Monty did.
Wait, hold on. What are we talking about?
And this is something.
What thing they retconned.
They retconned a lot of things about Raven's character, and like her personality and the direction that she was going.
Yeah.
And they also retconned the ending, like the after credit scene to Volume 2.
Yeah.
What were the after scenes of Volume 3 when Raven's right outside the window of Yang's, where Yang is?
I'm pretty sure that was Crow.
That was it. Well, Crow was somewhere else at the time, wasn't he? He left.
I don't know. Either way, I haven't like gone through word for word on things, but I have a very, very like sinking suspicion that Raven is like so different than what Monty was like trying to intend for her character, just from going by like what he was saying in the commentary. And I just I don't know. I'm tired.
Yeah.
We're all tired.
I feel like the reason that they're bringing Raven back is because they want people to like believe that like, oh no, see, this is the direction that things were going in. We didn't cut Monty's work. No, we would never do that.
Yeah.
But they obviously clearly did. Okay, are you guys still there?
Yeah, I'm just
still
thinking
alive.
about where we went wrong as human beings. That we've been arguing about an anime that isn't even an anime for 2 hours.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Isn't even okay. We're gonna
It's
not
not
go on to that topic. We're not going into that topic. We're not going into that. We're not going into that.
Okay.
You want to start a flame war in my comments? You go
Redirect to.
I don't want to start a flame
redirect
war,
to
I'm
Mother's
just
basement.
stating.
Redirect us to Mother's basement and Digibro.
Whatever.
Praise them. Praise
Mother's Basement is a great channel, and I just found them recently.
Did you
I
go
don't
to
know.
really
I love
insightful.
Mother's Basement.
Yeah.
Okay, so I feel like a lot of the scene with Raven and Crow really falls flat because a lot of it is telling without much showing.
Yeah.
A lot of like the really great mystery that Monty built up for a lot of characters is visual mystery rather than like explaining vague bullshit that they're going to pay off later or some shit, or maybe, I don't know. But it's like all they do is fucking talk about shit, about like some stuff we already know and some stuff they're obviously going to do this volume or the next
I like
volume.
the
It's
tone
like
of the
that's
comics.
not how you build up proper mystery. I remember how fucking like mystified I was when I saw Raven appear in volume 2, and I want that. I want that again. But I know I'm not going to get
I
it.
think it was kind of important to do this scene, and I think it was fairly well done because I like the tone of it. It was, I think it was a good scene, and I think that it gave you a little bit of light on what they were like instead of, it kind of gives you a bit more information on their backgrounds, which you kind of have to do.
Well, you don't have to do that. You can imply a lot of that. There's a lot of anime that do things differently than that. Like your argument is that like this is just something that needs to happen with exposition, but there's a lot of shows that don't do that.
Right.
Or if they do, they show you their backstory rather than tell you about their
That's
backstory.
true.
Yep.
I don't know. I just feel like film and animation especially are visual mediums, and like often Miles and Carrie just want to write ideas that they think are going to be cool but don't actually look cool.
And they don't have yes or no men to tell them what's good and what's bad. That's the issue. If you only have 2 writers, you don't have and you're best friends with that other writer, You don't have people who have different opinions than you, sort of. You got what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
You feel me, dog?
I feel you, dog. Is that
The shizzle.
dope, yo?
Okay. I feel like I would be a lot more invested in their dialogue if they showed me something, or if they gave me a reason to care about like Raven's character at all. But at this point, they haven't really done that. Like, there's no like, I list one reason besides what she says that would like get me to care about Raven's character beyond the appearance that she had in Volume 2.
Yeah. I completely forgot who she was. I completely forgot that she was the mom. I totally forgot about that.
I think that one thing they're kind of setting up, as opposed to, I think that is that we don't know if she's good or bad. We don't know what she's doing. Her motivations are kind of a mystery at this point.
Yeah, but there's like so many more ways that you could like do that. But I'm like, the bigger question that I'm asking is, why would I care about anything that she's saying that's establishing that when they haven't established why I should care? Like, there's no like information, visual or textual or contextual, besides the appearance in like Volume 2 and like a scene that they had in Volume 3 that like actually gets me to give a shit about this character.
Yep.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
And I sort of liked the waiter's reaction to Raven teleporting out. I thought that was pretty funny.
I thought it was funny, but I also thought, what the fuck? Like, you'd think that somebody that's like such a fucking ninja of a character and like so secretive and like good at hiding and shit wouldn't fucking do shit like that, because I think word would spread pretty fucking fast.
Like, holy shit, this chick crazy. She teleported. I mean, like, she's so good at hiding. I completely forgot about her.
Oh,
I'm so tired.
I appreciate the support, guys.
I seriously want to apologize to Andrew for like not having such a balanced discussion this time around.
Honestly,
I wanted to. I'm gonna preface this right now. I wanted to be the guy in the middle, but I got a firm no.
I miss Steven.
Maybe call him out on it. Don't actually do that.
Steven, let's talk about Community. Yeah, I did that.
Okay. So,
all right. So overall,
one final piece of depression that I want to talk about before we move into our like final, really quick topic, and then ending the podcast for the day, because we've been going a really long time.
It's been fun. It's been fun to kind of torture Andrew. I feel really bad.
I seriously dare you hum me one fucking tune from this season.
Okay.
I'm not gonna. This is my first time here. I'm not gonna do that. You guys have fun with that.
No, but beyond the OP, because that's obvious, and you hear that very clearly, like all the time.
I don't know, because there's not been anything that I latched on to. Okay.
Exactly. Point made.
Exactly.
Speed round.
Listen,
close.
Like, one thing about Monty's direction and work with Jeff Williams is that he always had like a really great idea of like, okay, this is how this is supposed to sound, and like really great at expressing like how exactly Jeff could supplement the emotion that a character was feeling with music. But I like, this season is just so like absolutely like. It's I could hum any singular tune from the first like even 3 volumes.
Yeah, Caffeine. If you remember Caffeine from freaking the finale.
Listen, I'm not even talking about like the like actual like fight soundtracks, like the ones with lyrics. I'm talking about the scores specifically. I could hum background score from the first 3 volumes of RWBY so much, but I can't do that with it. I can't remember a single tune. And the music sets the tone of your freaking show. It's arguably the most important part of your anime. Animes are really well known for their OST. Like, I'll bring up JoJo again because it's my favorite anime. I can hum at least 3 freaking parts of Battle Tendency, which is the second arc, and that was 3 years ago when it came out.
So the fact of the matter is the music is so important because it makes your show memorable. Like so if you hear that song again somewhere, you'll remember it from that scene, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Like, why is the music direction so different even though the people haven't changed?
Well, I think it was just because now there's like even more incentive to not really like try. It's the reason why I think a lot of the things in this volume are just like falling flat is because the fans refuse to criticize anything, so they know that they can just put anything out there.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know specifically why like this volume is so bad as far as the score goes compared to volume 3. But I don't know. I'm guessing it's something to do with the production end of the pipeline.
Yeah, that's totally it. I feel like there's a lot of misdirection with this series. We don't know where it's supposed. Like, see, the ending of Volume 3 was a really big statement, but if you do a time skip, you have to understand. I don't think it shouldn't have been as long as it was. I feel like the characters haven't changed a lot considering how long the time skip was and how short the first 3 volumes were in like a certain time span.
And the fact that they basically just stay stagnant for the entire time of the time skip.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know.
How did they not?
I don't feel like we dropped in on a random time 6 months later. I feel like we just picked it off where we started.
I think didn't they say it was a time skip? I never thought
but here, I don't know. They said it was a time skip at the RTX panel. They said it was a 6-month time skip at the RTX panel. But I think that's the only place that they said it. I don't know. This show feels so unknowably different from the show that I fell in love with a few years ago. Like you, if you absolutely like were to, I don't know, if you tried to convince me that this is a new IP, like if I hadn't seen the previous 3 volumes and you tried to tell me that this is the start of a new IP, I would believe you. I would absolutely believe you.
Or just say it's a spin-off of RWBY, not an actual continuation.
Speaking of spin-offs,
what about spin-offs?
Let's talk about Neon.
What?
He's not here to talk about it.
I just think we should talk about it.
I don't know anything about it, so
I'll talk about it when he's here.
We'll save it for next time. But I want to stay on this for a little bit. You can change animation styles. You can change full casts. You can do that. But if you don't keep it kind of similar to the past, you're not. It's not going to feel as good.
You need to keep the core intact.
Exactly. Like, I'm going to bring up JoJo again. At Volume 3 is completely different from Part 4. Like, Part 3 and Part 4 are very different. One is like an adventure to Egypt. The other one is a slice of life trying to catch a murderer in the town. That is completely different. But they work because the core of the show is still there. You still feel there. RWBY doesn't.
I think like the reason that like it feels like the core of RWBY is missing is because they don't like Miles, Carrie, Gray don't really care about the core because they didn't really bother to understand what Monty really wanted for this show.
Yeah, I don't think it's that malicious.
Just like I don't know.
I think it was that they assumed.
I really want to like this show. I love RWBY so much. My basically all of the content on my channel is structured around RWBY.
And I've seen your setup. It's a lot of RWBY stuff.
I want to like it so much more than I do, which is exactly why I'm berating it.
Yep. We wouldn't be talking so much about it if we didn't care about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been going a long time.
Yeah.
I kind of want to talk about anime production versus the Western style of production, but I think that maybe that could be saved better for like another time.
Then maybe it's its own separate video. That sounds like.
Yeah, I'll probably talk about it at some point in like a more scripted setting.
Hey,
yeah.
If and also there's a great guy to talk to. I think you can probably message on tweet out to on Twitter. Giancarlo Viope, I think that's his last name. I can't pronounce it. he's one of the directors and storyboard and is also a storyboard artist for Star vs. the Forces of Evil, and he also often responds fairly quickly on stuff like that. So maybe you can.
Oh, hey, that actually reminds me, and I didn't talk about this because I think it may have happened after we recorded the last podcast. Shane Newville is back on Twitter, and he answered some of my animation questions. I'm so happy. I don't know if he's like open to doing regular like Q&As about animation, but I am really glad that he's making things. Like even just like the 2 or 3 minute animations that he's been like putting out with Dylan Gu, who's another former RWBY animator, and kind of broke it off after Volume 3 because of the same reasons. I just in the stuff like that stuff seems so much more like RWBY than Volume 4. I don't know. Yeah. I've been ranting for a while. And I'm sorry that we haven't been quite as fair to you this time.
I tried. I literally tried. Like it's like the more you both bring up good points in some parts, but it's like I really just want this to work. I'm trying to think about but this no. I actually really liked the fight scene. Now I hate it after watching it again.
I'll emphasize this again. Remembrance is a real word.
It's a stupid word.
And we can never forget Randy the Random Huntsman.
Rest in peace, Randy. We will always miss you.
Forget Harambe. Dicks out for Randy the Random Huntsman. The saddest anime death of 2016.
Okay. I think we should call it a day.
On that note, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
On that note.
Okay. I'm starting to tell. On that note, I will see you wonderful people next time. Thank you for watching the Dustaholics podcast, the only podcast on the internet that is also a gun. I will see you guys potentially next week if we do the stream again, and maybe not. This was sort of an experiment. Let me know whether or not it actually works, and maybe we'll do it more often. Because it's a lot easier on my end that I don't have to edit things, and it just goes straight up on YouTube the minute that it's done.
Yeah, plus it puts less pressure on it to be constrained to a certain limit. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I will see you wonderful people next time. Bye.
Later, guys.